And we are live. Hey, Mrs. Debrina Jackson Gandy, how are you?
Hello, Mrs. Sean Thomas. I am so awesome.
That is well, you look awesome.
Thank you. I had to kind of upgrade my quarantine look today to be with you. So thank you.
I know, right?
It would have been a hair wrap, okay? It would have been
Whew, had to brush it off. So
a hair
as we wait on our amazing people to join us, let's go ahead and share. Let's see if we see ourselves live, and let's share this juicy conversation so more women can join us. So we should be live on your business page. Let's see. Yeah, it says that we're live on the Debrina Jackson Gandy page. How are you? How are you doing over there? How's quarantine treating you?
Well, me and my family, as for me and my family, we are doing wonderfully. And I know there are many people who this is a very difficult time. But so far, so for me personally and for my family, this has really been a time of respite. And we have been fortunate that we have not been hit in the way so many have. So things are continuing to flow and move over here very smoothly so far.
Amen. I can totally say the same. Good. I feel so blessed. I get up and talk to some of my juicy stars first thing in the morning, and we do wake up with thankfulness and gratefulness that the lives we live, even in quarantine, they're still so amazing. It's so amazing. So we're always talking about how amazing things are. All right, ladies, I see that we have some of our sisters on Latunda. We have Sharon, we have Angela. Can you ladies hear us okay? I know that you can see us. So can you hear us okay? Let me see here. Let me check our sound. All right. So it looks like I can hear us. Whoop, let me turn it down. All right. Looks like we are all set. Ladies, we're going to have an amazing conversation today. Do us a favor and share this broadcast to your pages. Share this because we want to have a juicy conversation. We're going to share. Debrina's going to impart with us 5 things that we need to be mindful of during this season, right? Hey, ladies, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Yes, we are so happy that you are here with us. You are here sharing this with us. Hey, ladies, I see all my sisters. Awesome.
Oh, hey, Tiffany, Karima.
Yes. Hey, Lou. Hey, y'all. Hey, love y'all. I wish I could see y'all beautiful face too.
We just love it. Hey,
yes.
Hey, beautifuls.
Awesome. So, Debrina.
Yes. Uh-oh, my hair just flopped. Hang on. Straight. Got to get it straight.
Hey, ladies.
My first day, girl, with my head not all wrapped up. So, in a few weeks. So,
okay. Norton, it's my first week in some regular clothes and not in workout gear.
How about that?
Okay, Tony, that is fine. Catch the replay. Y'all invite your friends. Everything that who is the joint company owned by. Okay, whoever this is, we don't want to know that. So let me make sure that we are good in that capacity.
Good.
Perfect. So tell us a little bit more about what life is like in the beautiful Seattle. Tell us about what you have going on in Seattle right now.
Well, I can't speak for all of Seattle because if you go into downtown Seattle, it looks like a ghost town. And because Seattle was the first city in the U.S. to actually have a person die from COVID-19, we were a few weeks ahead of the wave that rolled across the rest of the country. So for me personally, however, because I have a home-based business And I also am fortunate to have a home that I love, a beautiful home that I love that is filled with love and is decorated the way I want. And I have a lot of different spaces I can be in my home. For me, I have had the internal feeling in my body like when I'm on vacation. And so this for me has been a time of respite and a time to gear down because, as you know, with all of the wonderful things you're involved in as well, and you lead a big tribe, and I lead tribes, and we do national stuff and we do local stuff, that this is really an opportunity to exhale and for me to not have the same level of intensity that I would need to be operating at to maintain all of the wonderful stuff in my old normal life. And so this has been a time of great blessing and crossing some things off my to-do list that kept getting bumped. And I keep saying, I'll get back to it. I'll get back to it. One day I will, one day soon. And so in this season, I'm committed to getting those things completed. So it's been feeling great. It's been feeling great.
Amen. So I'm here in Atlanta, and well, I'm in the suburbs of Atlanta, and it's amazing in my suburb. Everybody seems to be helpful. We're getting much information. Things are not, it's not dark around us at all. And of course, I'm blessed too that I'm in a beautiful neighborhood. We go walking every day, seeing amazing smiling faces, blowing kisses to the little babies in the neighborhood.
Oh.
Yes, and enjoying waking to this beautiful backyard. And God knows, He loves His daughter so much. He gave me purple blooms in the backyard. Oh, it's so divine. I'll have to send you.
What a love note from your father.
Yes. It was a sweet surprise when spring came, because I moved in winter. So when spring came, it was a sweet surprise to see all of that beautiful purple in my backyard and hear the birds in the morning as I do my sacred time. So that's a blessing. So
purple is one of your favorite colors, right? So that represents the significance of the purple flower.
Yes. The total significance. It was just a kiss from heaven. Such a kiss from heaven. I am just, it's just so beautiful. Whew, now my hair want to fly away. So, as you mentioned, we want to have this conversation because we do know that everyone, if not just women, are inundated with information about what they should worry about, things in the news, things in our households. I can attest to, being at home, being a mom, being at home, trying to figure out the delicate balance of how much I'm going to be involved work-wise, how much am I going to be involved making sure that my 8-year-old has her schooling for the day, and I can just say I quit. I'm giving that part up. She's smart.
I just gotta say, as a side note, mamas and daddies who have school-age children right now and have had to become their primary teachers, my hat is off to you. My hat is off to you. Oh, you all are my superheroes right now.
Definitely. God bless all of our teachers. Lord have mercy. God bless all of our teachers. So there's just a lot going on, and that's why we wanted to have this conversation. That's why Debrina ladies came up with saying, hey, let's talk about some areas, 5 things of how to, what should be happening right now in this season of a reset. Right. And I love the word reset. It's not, anything that someone set us down or anything like that. It's literally a reset. So talk a little bit about that. Why is it a season of reset and not some of the other descriptors that are floating around?
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting. A few weeks ago, I was doing my daily prayer and meditation, which, as you know, is Juicy Women, and what we teach in Juicy Woman University. It's very important to start your day very anchored and grounded and centered within and with the source. Mm-hmm. And during that particular prayer and meditation session, I was praying about the annual Juicy Woman Weekend, which is the elite event that happens, once a year, and it would have been in a few weeks. And so I'm like, okay, Lord, what would you like me to do with that? And should I reschedule it? And so the next morning, in response to my question, when I woke up, it was yes, reschedule the Juicy Woman weekend. And then the weekend that's freed up, that all the women that were coming to that event have in their schedules, I want you to do an event. And the word is, I said, what's the word? He says, reset. So tonight's broadcast has that same theme. And so does the special gift that we'll be talking about a little bit later of that same name. So I wish I could take credit for coming up with that particular theme, but I put that forward to my Father in heaven, and that was the word that came back. And so this is not a time, I did a radio interview earlier this week, and the question that she kept asking, she kept saying, what can people do to get back to normal? What I need you to understand is, first of all, there's no going back. And second of all, that normal was killing us. That normal was straining our minds. That normal was stressing our bodies. That normal was resulting in a 51% divorce rate and all kinds of madness and insanity in love relationships and people moving too fast and being overwhelmed. And so we aren't to go back to normal. We're to go forward to a new normal. Forward to a new normal. And that's why there is a necessity for us to reset several things in this season. So, our language is not saying Corona 8 million times and COVID. We say in this season, this is a special season. And as we are told in Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season. And we do not want to miss the specific blessings, the specific opportunities, and the specific gifts that only this particular season can offer us. So that's why it's about resetting to a new normal, not trying to go back to the old normal.
Amen. Sharon says that normal was abnormal.
Oh, yes, abnormal and killing us. My goodness.
Yes. So, and I love that. I love that. Because the anxiety, now we're, bombarded with anxiety, fear, the trepidation, the angst, and we need new language. We need to have different conversations. We need to reset. Ladies, I want to first let me start this off by basically letting you know that you want to stay till the end. You want to stay all the way to the end. We have a juicy gift that we're going to announce at the end of this broadcast, and we have it's so yummy. You guys are
not an upsell. Let's make that clear. It is not an upsell.
It is really a gift.
Yes, for real.
It's a for real gift you do not want to miss what Debrina is going to impart with you. So back to our 5 areas.
Yes.
Let's start with number 1. Ladies, if you have a notebook and if you are a part of Juicy Woman University or you've been connected to Debrina, anytime you need to come with your notebook ready. So I notebook. I will give you 2 seconds to get a notebook. You want to be able to take notes, get you a yummy pen, get it out, get you some water.
So Sean,
have my water.
Can I just be a little vain right now? These nails were done over 2 weeks ago. Praise to my manicurist. Look at those nails. They're holding up pretty good.
They look good. Okay, so the real struggle, my real struggle is my nails. If I say I have clipped them, I'm waiting on one of my manicurists to tell me how to finish taking them off, so I'm ready for the reset on that end. But yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yours have held up well. Okay, ladies, listen here.
Ready. Sharon said, got my notebook. Okay, let's do that.
Yummy. Okay, so we are ready. What's number 1? The first thing that we need to get ready to reset.
Yes. Well, these are not going to be in any particular order necessarily. They all are equally important.
Yes.
Where I will start is with resetting the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And at this particular time, because the bias of the information, the nature of the information, the way the information is leaning right now, the majority of what we are taking in through our eye gates and our ear gates, if we're not careful, can cause us or be centered around what causes pain, anxiety, not pain, but worry, anxiety, angst, the clenched stomach, our blood pressure to go up, us to contract, because fear causes contraction. So if we are not mindful, in which this is part of what we must reset, we have to shift our attention and our focus. Otherwise, you'll be overwhelmed by an avalanche of information, whether it's emails, where people are sending out emails about what you need to do, whether it's videos, whether it's social media posts, or whether it's the news, meaning like even the stock market. My husband likes to watch CNBC, and I'll say, hey, how are things going? And when I look at the screen, because I'm usually in the kitchen, maybe cooking something, I'll say, hey, how are things going in the stock market? And I'll peek around the corner, and all I see is red, 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 red. And so this is a time where you have to reset your mind. And you want to be extremely intentional about where your attention and your focus is. And you have to protect your eye gates and your ear gates. So let me give you an example. I have on purpose not been, even though I have been here at home in my home office in my beautiful home in Seattle, I still have not, with that more available time, shifted it into being on screens more.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is I'm talking about the screen of my phone, my computer screen, which is in my office, the TV screen, even though I've watched more movies in the last 2 weeks than I have in the past 4 years, because I don't watch hardly any TV. So for me, this amount is like a 500% increase. But even that, the other night, my family, let's have a family movie night, because my 2 adult daughters are here. One is here back from college, husband here, me here, 4 of us here out of the 5. And they're like, we're going to watch a movie. And the movie, they know I don't like blood and gore and gunshots and stabbing and all that, but it was a really weird, creepy topic. And I said, you know, Mama's out. Thank you all so much. Can't do it, won't do it, and peace out. I'm gonna go upstairs and read. And they didn't even argue, because they know I'm very mindful about what comes in my eye gates. I don't need to see any weird, creepy stuff right now, even if it's not blood and gory. In the story, the woman had some weird fetish about eating certain stuff. I'm like, no, I can't do it. So this is a time to be very mindful of what is coming in your eye gates and your ear gates. You might have to excuse yourself from a room. You might have to turn it off or put it on mute, or shift your focus, shift your attention. There was a video that I had in my, I've been very mindful of videos I've been watching, this expert, being very careful of videos I've been watching, especially on social media. And so someone sent me one yesterday. It was in my messenger. And I said, let me watch this one. And as I'm watching this video, and the person had well intentions, and I could tell you could tell by their facial expressions and the earnestness in their voice, they had good intentions. But as they're sharing what they're sharing, I'm feeling my stomach start to tighten up. And the video was only 12 minutes. And when I got finished with the video, I just did a scan. And I checked in and I said, I now have some anxiety in my body, and I did not have it before I watched the video.
Wow.
And I said, okay, let me get out of this house. Let me go down to the beach. I'm fortunate to live overlooking Puget Sound, 3 minutes away. I'm down looking at the Olympic Mountains. the pier stretching out over the water, the eagles flying overhead and the seagulls. I'm like, let me get out of here to reset my mind, because my attention and focus just went to information that caused me to contract in fear. Now, I'm not talking about being ignorant, okay? I'm talking about being mindful, so that anything that causes you to come out of being centered and grounded and gets you in fear or anxiety, you must be mindful of that entering, because these are gateways into your being. So I needed to go and sit myself on that bench and listen to, I have a certain program I listen to that's all Bible verses put to this fabulous soaking music. And that was going to my ear gate, got my journal out, reset myself in 30 minutes. Did some movement, did some step ups on the bench down there, and I was renewed. I breathed it out, pushed it out, and then I was back. And I said, oh, that one slipped in. So that's an example, because your state right now is your biggest asset.
Yes.
The state of your spirit, the state of your mind, clarity, calm, centered, thinking straight, right? Having a clear mind, not a frazzled mind, not a frenetic mind. If your mind is frazzled, your actions will be frazzled, your decisions will be poor, you'll be sharp and impatient with the people you live with. So mind is the first one. Mind your gate. What's coming in your eyes, what you are listening to and hearing, and being willing to shift your attention and focus away from that which causes fear to that which brings calm and peace and keeps you centered.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
Screens, though. It's mainly screens that's coming through, right? The TV screen, not so much our radio, but the TV screen, the computer screen, the laptop screen, and the phone screen. Those are the ones that need to be censored right now, because we're taking in way too much information. A lot of it's even conflicting and contradictory. So, for example, one more thing I'll share. Someone sent me, I've watched two videos, the one from yesterday and one from a few days ago. So someone sent me a video, and the person recording the video looked like a doctor. Had on the scrubs with his name embroidered on the shoulder, and he seemed to be like in a multi, what do you call it, HMO healthcare organization setting. And so he says, this has now affected me because my child is home from school, so I want to do a little research and check this COVID out. And so he says, I looked into whether there was vaccines for COVID. Is they're scrambling to try to get the vaccine. And says, do you know that there already is a vaccine for COVID that's out? It came out in 2006, and it's under the name severe acute respiratory syndrome. Here's the patent number. Did you know that in Europe there's a vaccine? Here's the patent number. Well, Debrina did her research after I watched the video. And yes, there is a patent for the vaccine for SARS. Then I looked up, is SARS the same as COVID? Are the viruses the same? The viruses are not the same. So now, if you watch that video, you're like, what? It's a conspiracy. They're withholding the vaccine. They already have the vaccine. Well, then, because I happen to have a student who's a multimillionaires, and her company was a biotech company, and what did they do? Trials for vaccines. You have to pay for a trial that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. And then you have to be approved by the FDA before it's available for public consumption. Now, if you don't know all that and you take that information and you don't research it yourself, you now are like, oh my God, they have a vaccine. They're withholding it from us. Oh my God, this is a takeover by aliens. You will start to spin out of control.
True.
So was there a vaccine for a similar virus? Yes. Now, did they do a clinical trial and FDA approved? Apparently not. because that costs a ton of money for pharmaceutical companies to do that. So all I'm saying is we have to be so mindful of what we take in, even when it's from so-called experts or people who look like they're an authority, I'll say. So those are just a couple examples over the last few days where I let some stuff in, but I didn't let it in without, let me check this out myself. And I wrote down the patent number so I could go back and look it up, check for myself.
Me too.
Yeah, so mind is the first one, girl. Mind,
Okay.
mind, ladies, mind. This is your biggest asset right now. These 5 inches right here, your biggest asset right now. So you must be guardian of it at a level you haven't had to before in this season.
Definitely. Okay, we don't have any questions yet. Ladies, if you have any questions, please type your questions and I'll have Bruna answer a couple of questions as she's in flow. So we have mind as our first.
Mind.
Reset.
Reset your mind.
Reset your mind. Okay, we ready. Keep flowing.
Number 2, and like I said, these are in no specific order. Number 2 is your spirit. And if there was one that had me the most concerned right now because of where we are spiritually, where each of us is in our spiritual development, our spiritual discernment, this one would have me the most concerned. Because with mind, you can take some action, turn the screen off, flip the phone down, turn the TV off, set yourself up for only ingesting of so much information every day. But spirit, this is going to take some deeper work. What is being revealed at a time when the material world, the economy, the conveniences of our modern living are now thrown off, topsy-turvy, shut down, many businesses, where we get to see how much we had our identity and our comfortability anchored in the material and outside of ourselves. And it's been greatly anchored there. And you can see by some of the mood that is out there, it's not a mood I'm claiming, but the mood that is out there, because we have been so anchored and identified in what we can see with our 5 senses, that when that starts to get crazy, like it has here, and in other countries, they've experienced crazy a lot. We've been very spoiled, okay? Yeah. We've been very spoiled in this country. And this is something we can turn around based upon our individual behavior and the collective impact of our individual behavior. So we're not even powerless in the face of it. We're not powerless in the face of it. So what I am seeing is that we are so spiritually underdeveloped and spiritually under-equipped and spiritually ill-equipped right now. And this season is the perfect and necessary time for us to develop some spiritual muscles that are quote unquote flabby. So let me just share a couple, and I'm talking just fundamental. So many of us, our mind has been so restless, our mind has been racing, that the notion of settling our spirit down for daily prayer and meditation is a huge struggle for us. And even in Juicy Woman University, my 12-month life transformation course, that is one of the sacred practices of a juicy woman. Consistent, not hit and miss, not shotgun, not once I go on vacation, but it's an integral part of how she rolls on a daily basis. The same way we brush our teeth every day, daily prayer and meditation is integrated into the lifestyle of a juicy woman. Well, when you look at how restless most of us are, we are so challenged with settling ourselves down to have consistent daily prayer and meditation. Now, let me tell you why I keep saying them together. Because prayer working together with meditation is the 360 degrees of divine communication. So if you are one who's had a meditation practice and not a prayer practice, or a prayer practice and not a meditation practice, it's incomplete. It would be like, how much more effective could I be as a communicator if I couldn't only hear or only speak? But if I could speak and hear, my the power of my communication just increased hugely. So prayer is the sending out of, we're issuing it forth, divine communication with our source, with our creator, with our loving God. But if you don't have the meditation element, the meditation component, which is the shift into receive and hear mode, then you're sending prayers out and don't have a return cycle for yourself. Okay, I'm going to shake my little rattle on that one, Sean. Hang on. Did you hear me? Without meditation, and what I mean by meditation, as Debrina teaches it, I'm not talking about the Eastern tradition of meditation, where you're relaxing your mind and stilling your body. That prepares you to receive divine communication. Come on now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about the hearing aspect with your inner spiritual ear, not your physical ear, your inner spiritual ear. And you must have a return cycle, because if you're putting asks forward in your prayer, which we are supposed to be doing, then in order to hear the response, you have to then close your mouth, because I'm big on praying out loud. Close your mouth and then shift into activating and opening your inner spiritual ear so that you can hear the response, the answer, the instruction, the direction, the insight, the illumination. And you want to have a journal so that you record it, because the Holy Spirit communication is very efficient. It's like lean muscle, no fat. And if you try to recall what you heard and you change one word, get one word wrong, you will not execute the instruction on point. Now, why we must reset right now is because too many of us have not already, before this season, had a sacred daily practice of speaking to and hearing from the Lord. Now, we all may not call source the same thing. That is nothing to get caught up in arguing about. We're talking about truth here. There's a source. We have a loving source. We did not create ourselves. And we have a divine design. We are designed and we are intended to be in constant connection and communication with that source in order to experience life more abundantly, that is. So in this season, Sean, this season, and we don't know exactly how many more weeks it will last, but it is a specific season. This is the season where you've got to work the spiritual muscles, and you've got to have your breakthrough around the discipline of prayer and meditation and opening your inner spiritual ear. I have one of my love relationship clients. I was doing some work with her and her husband. They've been going through a very challenging time. And for several months, I had a co-facilitator, a male counterpart that we both knew the couple, so it was really beautiful to have us working together to support them. So when we would have our convenes together, and they are both believers, and they said, "Oh, I've been seeking God during this time," I'd say, "Well, tell me, what did you receive? What did you hear?" And it was like these little sound bites. And I'm like, wait, when you are really engaged in spiritual daily prayer and meditation and your inner spiritual ear is open, then you don't just get a sound bite, because then you're going to try to interpret it and add your own stuff in there instead of just getting it straight from the throne. And so, we're talking about when your spiritual ear is open, you're getting like full pages, full paragraphs, not just one sentence. And so finally, after hearing that from both of them over the month, these little one sentence sound bites that were the result of their seeking the Lord, finally, a few nights ago, she shared with me the download she got. A full page and a half. I said, and I just started shouting. I'm like, your inner spiritual ear is open! Yay! This is what it looks like. This is what it sounds like. when you are in loving, intimate communication and dialogue with your creator and you're putting asks forward. This is what it looks like and feels like. And this is the kind of specificity that you get. You don't get one sentence and then you're throwing in your own interpretation, and then you're all off course doing what you think it means. You don't have to make anything up. It's clear, it's specific, it's exact, it's precise. So that's where we want to get, Sean, in this season. We want that inner spiritual ear to be popped open and clean out the spiritual earwax and the restlessness that in our old normal, we had the excuse of, I don't have enough time, or this is the time. You got to get it mastered to a certain degree during this time, because it is going to be called on in the next season. It's going to be called on in the next season. So this is the season to work those spiritual muscles of daily prayer and meditation, and learning how to, and getting your spiritual journal. If you don't have one, don't mix it up with your idea journal or your business journal. This is just for your daily prayer and meditation time. And then we also want to learn how to power up our asks. And I'm not going to go into that right now. That'll be part of what they get to learn when we get to the gift that we'll share. But a lot of us, our prayers are weak. Mm-hmm. This is a time to learn how to power up your prayer.
I love it.
And putting asks, more asks, not only for insight and illumination and understanding or clarity, those kinds of asks, but also for what you want to manifest as a desire of your heart. We do not have enough asks in our prayer time. That's another conversation. But that spirit.
Amen. That was very juicy. Very juicy. Took some.
And you know, I'm just a little passionate about that.
Yes. Yes. And it's so important, especially such a time as this. And I love it. It's mastery time. I wrote down it's mastery time. Power up your prayer. Yes. Power up your prayer. Carmen's writing it as I'm saying it. Power up your prayer.
Open that inner spiritual ear in this season. So yes, we have the written word, which thank goodness we have the written word.
Amen.
Scripture. But the ultimate gift was deposited in each one of us. God said, I love you so much, daughters, so much, sons. I'm going to put a piece of myself in every single one of you. You will never be able to be separated from me, no matter how hard you try. That's why God can say to us, I will never forsake you, because he built himself into our being. What?
Yes.
So we are not accessing that resource. We are having to figure out way too much on our own little personality and our own little limited purview and our own little facts and our own little fearful emotions. We've been doing this thing way too effortfully. Oh, this is the season.
This is the season.
Develop your prayer and meditation as a beloved daily sacred practice.
Amen.
Yes. Amen.
Woo, lady.
That was number 2. Was there a question, Sean? Let me pause a minute.
No question. We got a lot of amens. We got a lot of high fives. We got a lot of hearts. Thank you, ladies. If you have a question, please drop them. We could stop right there. I know we promised y'all 5, but I'm just saying. I have a full page of notes in my notebook. So, ladies, I hope you are writing this down. I hope you are writing this down. Woo, Lord.
I don't know if anyone has asked the question, but it would seem that the question would be out there, Debrina, how do I open my inner spiritual ear? I want to do that. How do I do that? So one is to desire it, for one, and to know it's available. You can't desire it if you don't know it's available to you. Okay, so a lot of us have grown up in the pray, be a praying woman, pray. No, prayer and meditation. We've been short-circuiting, cutting off half of the other part of that divine communication formula, and it's scriptural. So we can't say, is that in the Bible? That means you're not reading your Bible then. If you have to ask that question. There's meditate on, that's contemplate and reflect. That's different than what meditation I'm talking about. It's the companion to prayer. So one, you have to know if that's available to you. Yes. Detailed, personal, intimate, specific to your life responses based on your asks is available to you. Two, you have to earnestly desire to open up your inner, that inner spiritual ear. You have to desire it. God set this universe together based on desire. Okay, so you have to desire it. And then you need to sit your booty down and learn how to first just relax your body and still your mind. You might have to count backwards from 10 because your mind is like a runaway train. So you need to still your mind. So there is space for the voice to arise into. So you might have 2 weeks of just learning how to sit down and still your mind because it's too shaking and moving. And the Lord is like, just gonna wait.
I'll wait. Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So those are the first 2 places. Know what's available to you. Know that meditation, as I'm teaching it, is the other half of divine communication. If you assigned it to being something else or you were mistaught that it was demonic, we're not talking in the Eastern tradition of meditation. And even then it's not demonic because most of us, our minds are out of control. And even the Eastern tradition of meditation helps you bring you back into being control of your mind. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us have missed teachings because we haven't done our own research. Okay. So that's the second one, spirit. The third one is body. So historically in this country, we have treated our bodies as things to groom or maintain or feed or exercise. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. And we have a lot of gadgets and techniques to do that. In this season, we are to elevate our relationship with our bodies from body as a thing to take care of. And we have different degrees to which we've done that well or not. And elevating it now to the truth of who our Creator says our body is really about, which is our body is a divine living temple. And there are at least 3 places in scripture that talk about the body as a divine living temple. And one of the verses is, do you not know? Do you not know that your body's a divine living temple? Because the answer for too many of us is, if you look at my behavior, no, I don't. And this is my growth area. Like, woo, me and my body temple relationship. My goodness, we working on it together. But it's time to elevate to a new relationship with our body as a divine living temple. When you think about a temple and the beauty of a temple and the intricacy of a temple and the order of a temple and the how manicured it is outside of a temple and how peaceful it usually is inside of a temple and everything is in order and it's not overly cluttered and you bring your voice down and you tread with respect. All of those things that apply to a physical building that's a temple, that and more applies to now honoring and engaging with our bodies as divine living temples. And that affects how much rest we give our temple, what we put in our temple, what we allow in our temple. And that's what I mean in terms of intercourse. You're allowing, as a woman, a man into your body. Literally, he's entering your temple. And he's leaving an energetic footprint when he leaves. That's another conversation too, Sean. Got all kinds of footprints up in our temple that we have not cleaned out. There are consequences for leaving residual funky energy up in your temple. All right? And our eye gates, right? Our temple has gates, entry points, our mouth, our ears, our eyes, our goodness, aka vagina, right? And I'm not saying our anus. That is not for entry, that's for exit. Hello, somebody. We've been misusing the body. That's for exit. All right. So back to the conversation. Sean, stop. Sean, stop. I see you, Sean. So that includes, now that we are elevating our consciousness to, hold up, this is a divine living temple I have been bestowed with.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm paying closer attention to what's entering my temple. Am I eating dead food? Am I eating food that's living or close to living where the enzymes are still alive? Am I putting live food in or dead food in? If it's in a bag or a box, it's dead. So not beat ourselves up, but what are the shifts I can make? Because hold up, this is a living temple and I want to put life into my temple. Yeah. I want to ingest through my eyes and ingest through my ears. And in my conversation with others, what brings life?
Amen.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so if we're looking at just some basic actions that can really support body as living temple, is during this time, take some more baths. Sacred, pampering baths. Baths, if you look back at ancient cultures, were never for just cleanliness. They were never for just hygiene. There was also spiritual benefit. So especially if you have been out in the world, in a job, healthcare, delivering food to people who are stressed out, when you get home, take a bath. The ions in the water help to clean your energy field out. Then go ahead and add some Epsom salt to help your body's muscles relax. If you have some essential oils, add them in. Essential oils come from living botanical sources. They have a natural high vibration of life. Add a few drops. If you want energy, add citrus or add the mints. If you want to relax, add chamomile, add lavender, add rose. So use your bath as a sacred pool now. A lot of us stand in the tub to take a shower. When you sit down in a tub, you're closer to the ground and the earth. You also have to deal with your body. In a shower, I'm looking at the shower head, right? But when you are in the bath, you are looking at your body. You are being more so with your body. You're being more present to your body versus just looking at the wall and rubbing and whatever we're doing. So that's just a little tip that can help you start to become more present to your body, slow down, treat it as a spiritual experience, not just a hygienic experience. Okay? So that's number 3. Sean, is it already 10 to the hour?
It is, but you keep going, because where we go, what else we got to do? I'm just saying.
Say that, girl.
Let me just share, if I can just interject there.
Yeah.
In you being part of Juicy Woman University and learning about the sacredness of a bath, that has changed my life in such a big way. Just to slow down and be intentional about that space. Oh, and I've been sharing that with some of my sister friends, and it's like when their energy is too high, sis, go take a bath. Ooh. Those are the gifts. I used to not enjoy or not partake in the sugar scrubs and the scents stuff. Now I can't get enough. I placed the order with Lovejoy Naturals. I need some more scrubs. There's space now where that is an essential part of how I live, and it's been life changing. So thank you for that. So
that's so good. So I just want to add a note, because I also have my 3rd national book called The Love Lies. We have the Relationships Cafe. It's one of my Facebook communities. And a lot of women that are on that are in the Relationships Cafe, or that right now are single women, single because you're divorced, single because you haven't been married, you're thinking, oh, once we get back to normal, and really we're going to go forward to a new normal, then I will put love relationships back on my mind. No, this right now, this season, this right now time is the time to prepare yourself for juicy love. We just want it and we don't get prepared for it. Even if you have a new job, you have to go into some training and preparation for a new job. A love relationship takes a lot more maturity than a job. That just takes skill and some knowledge. So this right here, for women that desire to be in a juicy love relationship at some point, and that's a desire of your heart, this right now season is the season to do your self-love upping and increasing. Getting in that bath and learning how to create a sensuous atmosphere for yourself.
Yeah.
Draw your bath for yourself. Do you know how to layer? Do you know how to use scents? Get out your music, light the candle, get your seltzer water, or get your wine, or get your lemon tea, or learn how to create a sensory experience. Because really, like when I'm in mentality with the men, I said, gentlemen, really a romantic experience is a sensory rich experience. That's what it is if you think about all the elements of a romantic evening or a romantic occasion. Women are very sensory. And so this is an opportunity to develop your own sensuality by something as simple as, let me learn how to really engage in the art of drawing a bath for moi. So that's some of the homework I would give to especially women that are on this broadcast or share the broadcast and, you know, are interested in attracting and sustaining juicy love. This is the time to work the muscles and get your magnetism up and get your self-love up and get your healing on. So you're not looking to a man to fill holes in your spirit. Come on now. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Woo! Yes. That's a nugget right there.
Yeah. That's a cool one. Okay, so it's 8:54 and we still have 2 more to go.
Okay.
And I want you to finish. So give us some more. Ladies are saying
get in there. Okay, 2 more. So the 4th one is rhythm and pace.
Okay.
So if we misread this opportunity and think, oh, this is only while the virus stuff and the quarantine stuff is going on. No, this is because our new normal needs to be more a reflection of the pace and rhythm of the quarantine period than the crazy ripping and running and chasing, straining and striving and stressed out and time scarcity old normal. I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same rhythm and pace, but we by no means are supposed to go back to crazy. Mm-hmm. So we're to reset our rhythm and our pace and start to tell yourself, this is feeling more like my new normal versus, oh, this is an exceptional moment. It's going to go back to, change your language, change your thinking, and reset your rhythm and your pace. Because this is definitely more honoring of the feminine spirit. Absolutely. For those of us who aren't having to homeschool kids as well, y'all might be the exception. Then the 5th one I'll touch upon briefly is values. Your values. So one of the books I'm rereading at this time, Three Magic Words, it said, for example, there's a gap between what we say is true for us and what we say we value, what we say is important, and then our behavior and our choices. So in the book, it says, on the one hand, we say, I trust in God. And then on the other hand, we act as if God were untrustworthy, right? We don't heed our intuition. That's a 6th sense. We don't act on the instruction we received from the Holy Spirit, right? We say we value family time and connection, and now many of us have more space for it. And so, are you able to say what you have done to support and cultivate and increase the family time and connection, like for real, for real? Or on one hand, you have contempt when you talk about wealthy people, but you desire to live a wealthy life. We have a conflict. So we have really got to revisit our values. What we've been saying is so important, and being sure that our choices, excuse me, and our behavior is lined up. So that's the fifth area to reset our values back to what really matters. And this has been a season to have some smoke clear from all the ripping and running of the old pace, and to see and feel and notice what really matters. And our values should be a reflection of that. And our choices in our life should be lined up with our values. Did I get it in, Sean, with 2 minutes left to talk about the gift? Hey.
Yes. Ladies, I see that there are about 20, 23 y'all still here.
Woo!
That was juicy. Give us some hearts. Give us some
yes, love. Let us know.
Yes, let us know that you are picking up what she was just putting down. I am on page 2 of my notes. Awesome. So now we want to talk about this juicy free gift. We have a special extended event that we're doing. And let me turn it over to you. What can the ladies expect? And this is a actual gift, ladies. There's no cost involved. We wanted to do, Debrina wanted to do something special for you. So tell us how this came about. You alluded to it in the beginning.
Yeah.
Let us know a little bit more.
This was really an appetizer, Sean. This tonight was an appetizer. Tonight was called It's Time to Reset, right? Making a case for why it's so critical to reset. But on April 18th, which is a Saturday, we are having a virtual reset retreat. The very same guest luminary that would have been with us live if we still had the event happening later this month at the Royal Palms Resort, 5-star gorgeous resort, paradise on earth. She has consented to join me and co-facilitate the reset half-day virtual retreat. And so it's from 9 to 11:30 if you're Pacific Coast, and it's 12 to 2:30 if you're on the East Coast. And we've added a 4th empowerment session. So session 1 is about divine identity. Session 2 is about divine design. Session 3 is about divine abundance and wealth. And then the bonus session, for those who want to stay on 30 more minutes, is divine manifestation. And so the wonderful thing is we decided that there'd be no cost for it. And, I rarely do a no-cost virtual event that is 2.5 hours of powerful, potent, co-facilitated content. But that's what we're going to do. And because we also believe in reciprocity, and we know that's very important, for those who choose, after the retreat is over, you can decide to make a love offering if you would like. But there's no cost to register. So, Sean, are we able to put the link in the chat?
The link is there, pretty lady.
Okay.
The link is there.
We're going to put the links there, or you can go to my website, milliondollarmentor.net, and then you'll see right on the calendar page, right there in the front, you'll see a big, gorgeous graphic. Click it, and it'll take you to all the details, okay? Reset, milliondollarmentor.net, reset, or click the link. We are only going to make 50 spaces available because we wanted it to feel more like a retreat and not just an online class, because it is going to be. But based upon the response, after only 2 days of making it available, we may have to change that. So at the moment, there's only a few spaces left before we hit the 50. And at this pace, we are going to have to change that limit. So join us as soon as this broadcast is over. Please click the link or go to milliondollarmentor.net. And right there on the home page in the calendar section, boom, there is the big juicy button to take you to all the details to get yourself registered. So that's the Reset Virtual Mini Retreat. And you may say, oh my gosh, 2.5 hours. That is going to go fast. This was already 1 hour, right? 2.5 hours, given the juiciness, the yumminess that we have to share. And let me tell you, Delana, who I'm co-leading with, she has been involved with money and finance and wealth for 20 years. She is a top official, a top executive at Wells Fargo Bank. She also owns a financial company. So we are getting a powerhouse on that day. So you get 2 for 1, Debrina and Delana, the dynamic duo, and there's no cost to register.
No,
So excited.
ladies, and like she said, that's not normally how we roll. We really were supposed to be in Phoenix, Arizona, that weekend, but you know, such as the season to reset. And since some of us had already blocked that block of time off, Debrina, you know, in her prayer time, her divine download was to do this for us. And so we're so thankful. And you don't want to miss out. Now, there will be question and answer. So there are limited spaces. We want to be managed well and make sure that we can serve well. So make sure that you are registered for this event. You do not want to miss it.
It's about to be sold out after day 2. My goodness, I love it.
Awesome.
You are so awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. All I see is thank you. And I'm registered. Yes. Thanks for being fast action takers. We can't wait to see you. Thank you, Debrina Jackson, for Gandy, for always being available, for always gifting of yourself, being a resource for all of us. We appreciate you. You are a life changer. You are a world changer. We just send you blessings. We send you love. And just know that you're in our prayers. We love you. We appreciate you. And we are just so thankful that you are doing the work. Such a time as this. So thank you.
Love to everybody. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you for joining us. Until next time. Bye.